Over 40 Indian nationals have died, over 30 are injured at the Indian labour camp in Mangaf city of Kuwait. That's the terrible news coming in from the Gulf country. The Indians killed are all workers working at a factory apparently owned by an NRI businessman, but we're still to get a confirmation of that. This was basically a living quarters in the city of Mangaf in Kuwait. Kuwait is a tiny country by itself. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has tweeted that he is deeply shocked by the news of this fire incident in Kuwait City. 40 deaths and over 50 have been hospitalized, he says. India's ambassador has gone to the camp and further information is awaited. He's also expressed his deepest condolences. All of these persons were workers in a factory in Kuwait, and this was the living quarters where a fire broke out early this morning. The fire has been brought under control, but 40 Indians are confirmed among the 45 people who have died in this fire. Over 50 are injured and have currently been put under medical treatment in a hospital. The Indian embassy is on the ground at the hospital and on site, rendering any and all assistance to the injured, as well as to the families of the bereaved who are in India, many of them in Kerala. We are still getting more details on the tragedy itself.
هذا القرار اللي المفروض يطلع من زمان ويتنشطون في البلدية. مع الأسف كان في إهمال من تجار العقارات علشان يعملون مخالفات، وهذه نتيجة المخالفات. اليوم للحين وأنا أكلمكم 41 واحد متوفي. سبب شنو؟ سبب تجار العقارات مع الأسف.
Let's go straight across to India today's Gaurav Sawant and Shibi Mall KG joining us live from Thiruvananthapuram. Shibi, let me quickly come to you first. Any further details about where many of these workers are from? It is understood that many of them could be from Kerala. We do know that people from Kerala, make up a large part of the labour and workforce in countries like Kuwait. The ownership of the factory where they worked could also be, by an NRI businessman. Do we know any further details? What are you hearing?
Shiv, the state government is yet to confirm the number of deaths, the number of Malayalis who have died, and also their identities. They have communicated to the External Affairs Ministries what they were telling us when we called them, a while ago. They're saying that they're waiting for the final details, and they're also through the NORCA rules, which is the system in which all the NRI's names and details are registered under the under Kerala government's department. So they're checking through those sources and also waiting for a confirmation from the External Affairs Ministry is what the government was saying. Also, they're saying that it's an NRI businessman from Kerala, identified as KG Abraham is what the government sources are telling, that the building belonged to him. Most of the employees were from Kerala. One of the deceased have been not officially confirmed, have been identified as a native of Kollam, but that needs to be confirmed officially by government of Kerala. They are also waiting for the details. Deaths in most of the deaths, of course, include Malayalis, but the identities can be confirmed. The figure can be revealed only after the External Affairs Ministry confirm is what the state government is saying.
Okay, so we're going to wait on that, but information coming in from Shibi Mall suggests that, many of those who have tragically died in this Kuwait fire could be from Kerala. There's information trickling in about the ownership of the factory as well, which we'll get a confirmation on from both the centre and the state governments. Gaurav Sawant is also tracking this story very closely. Gaurav, we saw those pictures earlier of India's ambassador to Kuwait visiting the hospital where this happened. The External Affairs Minister has expressed shock as well. A deeply distressing story. 40 people killed, and this story is still developing right now.
Shiv, that is true. As of now, the information that we have is 43 people have unfortunately lost their lives. There were 160 people housed in this 6-storied building. The fire started in the kitchen around 6 in the morning and very rapidly spread to the higher floors, and several people who've had injuries either jumped off the higher floors because they couldn't either take the elevator or the staircase down. The staircase was covered in smoke. Some were asphyxiated because of smoke inhalation. Firefighting equipment was apparently found wanting, according to initial information, and authorities in Kuwait are blaming the greed of the owner of the building because it apparently had more number of people living than was sanctioned. That's point one. Point two, of the 160, we are told 43 are feared dead. We are told about 50 are still in hospital, some with smoke inhalation injuries. No information whether they're critical or not as of now. But Shiv, the Indian Embassy in Kuwait, has put out an emergency helpline number. It's plus 965 655 05246, and they've asked everyone who wants to know about their loved ones to contact this helpline number. So a helpline number has been given out. Details are being collated. Some injuries may be critical. 43 feared dead of the 160 who are in the building is the information that we have as of now, Shiv.
And we also, Gaurav, heard the Deputy Prime Minister of Kuwait in one of those sound bites from that local report saying, that some kind of violation could have been the reason why this took place, which makes it an even bigger concern for India, given that, thousands of Indian expat workers, work in very similar conditions and live in very similar conditions in Kuwait.
Shiv, you're absolutely right. Of the entire workforce in Kuwait, 30% of that workforce, about 9 lakh, are Indians. You have a million-strong Indian diaspora living and working in Kuwait. So that's a huge diaspora. 21% of the population are Indians or people of Indian origin. Their living conditions, at least in this instance, as you heard in that soundbite, yes, a lot. And that is why, Shiv, there's a forensics team. So it wasn't just the firefighters, but along with the firefighters, a team of forensics went on ground and they are carrying out a very detailed investigation. And we would know in some time, perhaps, what led to that devastating fire and how it spread so rapidly.
Okay, stay with me, Gaurav and Shibi. I'm coming back to you. Just wanted to quickly update our viewers that Prime Minister Modi has just put out a statement condoling the deaths in the Kuwait fire tragedy. He says, "My thoughts are with all those who've lost their near and dear ones. I pray that the injured recover at the earliest." The Indian Embassy in Kuwait is closely monitoring the situation and working with the authorities there to assist the affected. Shibi, I want to quickly come to you again. Information still coming in, which is totally normal. A crisis line has been set up in Kuwait for, loved ones to be able to get the latest information. Can you update us on what the Kerala government is doing right now? Usually in instances like this, the state government and the centre work together to make sure information is, reached to the families at the earliest. Can you update us on what the Pinarayi Vijayan government is doing right now from their end?
Well, Shiv, in Kerala, there is a system called Norca routes under which all the Malayalis living abroad, the NRIs from Kerala, should register before leaving abroad. So they have a list of people who are living abroad, the NRIs from Kerala. So going through that data is one thing that we're understanding. The second thing, they're in close coordination, working with the External Affairs Ministry, because the building, as per the government sources, is owned by a Malayali NBTC group, is what we are understanding. What the government sources are telling, in fact, in the building, some of the laborers working in the NBTC's company's supermarket was also staying. There is another information that we're picking up. If the government needs to confirm this, but one of the information is that one of the deaths have been confirmed from Kollam district of Kerala, from Oyur in Kollam. That's one information coming right now, but again, it needs to be confirmed by the government.
Yes.
They are checking through their sources also, because the Malayali diaspora in Gulf is very strong. There are a lot of organizations working in closely with the government. So they are also checking through their sources and in coordination with the Norca routes and the details there. But most importantly, they're saying that the final confirmation should come through External Affairs Ministry, which who are in close contact with the Kuwait government.
Okay, this is very, very crucial for India to make sure that no more lives are endangered. Our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, is also live with us. Geeta, 40 deaths is an absolutely shattering number. We've heard from both the External Affairs Minister, the Kerala government, the Prime Minister has also put out a statement. We do see the Indian ambassador there on the ground in the hospital assessing that situation and extending help. What more is the government doing? What more are you hearing? Is it possible that people could go from here? The reason I'm asking is because, like Gaurav just said, the sheer number of Indian expat workers in Kuwait and in the other Gulf countries is huge. And from time to time, there do come these tragic reminders that their living conditions are far from safe.
That's right. And this by far is one of the most serious incidents that we've really come across. In the recent past, I can't remember of an incident where so many Indians have lost their lives and so many far more numbers of Indians that we've seen in the past who now are injured and are in hospital. So the government will have to do a lot. The embassy already has started taking action in terms of facilitation, but we'll have to see what kind of facilitation. We're looking at repatriation of mortal remains. We're looking at maybe family members who want to travel from India to Kuwait to be with their loved ones who are in hospital. We could be looking at those who are not very severely injured, who would want to travel back home to be with their families, because they're all workers from the manual labor camps. So they're not white-collar people who have enough in their banks to really be able to travel back and forth. So the government of India will have to facilitate and help them on that front. This is a huge number, so we'll have to see what kind of facilitation that we are looking at. For now, we do know that the government will be facilitating repatriation of mortal remains, identification, informing family members. We do not really know whether all those Indians who've lost their lives there, the families back home, have been informed. There is a very, very smooth process and a system in place in Kerala. I say Kerala, Shiv, because we've just been reporting that most of them who've lost their lives are from Kerala. Most of them who are severely injured are also from Kerala. So they have a system in place. How they're going to process those requests is also something we'll have to wait and see. There's also going to be the need for state-center coordination over here, where the state government will be reaching out to the central government to ensure that these are the requests that are coming in from families. Their loved ones are either affected or are no more.
Yes.
And the center will then have to facilitate that in terms of what they do with the Indian mission. Ambassador Adarsh Paita was in the hospital. We saw visuals of him at the hospital. He took stock of the situation. And again, severely injured, minor injuries. We'll have to see what they really want and how they best can be taken care of. Mortal remains, Shiv, would be something that the government of India will have to ensure are brought back to the country.
Okay, the Indian embassy there is on, working this out on a war footing to make sure that the families get the information they need so they can get the, the mortal remains as quickly as possible, as well as updates on those who are injured. Gaurav, final question to you. India and Kuwait have, healthy, close diplomatic relations. A huge amount of people exchange over, many, many decades. I'm guessing that India can depend on the Kuwait government to get to the bottom of what happened. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. India and Kuwait are very, very close partners. And in fact, all across West Asia, India has extremely warm ties. Of course, with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, extremely close. With Qatar, very, very close. Also with Kuwait. But in this particular incident, that is exactly why authorities in Kuwait, apart from the firefighters, also have a team of forensics who are examining the building, trying to figure out how did that fire start in the kitchen. It apparently started on one of the lower floors and very rapidly spread through the staircase is the initial information that's coming in to the higher floors, and that is why people could not take the staircase out of that building, and several were asphyxiated, several suffocated to death or had these injuries as they jumped off the building trying to escape the blaze, Shiv.
Track of this story. Shibi is going to be tracking it from Kerala. Gaurav and Geeta will be looking at the government's response. We are not done updating you on this story. We will continue to get you more through Prime Time here on India Today.